Yo guys, what up? It's Fishing with Colin here. I'm going to be talking about line, the difference between monofilament, fluorocarbon, and braid. Now, I'm going to pop some pictures up on the screen to show you guys the difference. So, this is monofilament that's right now on the screen, and monofilament, trident, I guess is the type, or tridene is a type of monofilament. There's fluorocarbon. I don't really ever use fluorocarbon. The difference is monofilament and fluorocarbon are basically the same. It's just monofilament. If you look at it under a microscope, it has little microscopic bubbles which help it float, so it doesn't sink as well. So let's say you were side drifting, monofilament would be something that you would want to use just for like steelhead, topwater, flies, just letting it side drift down the river. That'd be good. But fluorocarbon, you wouldn't want that because that would sink. Fluorocarbon's good if you were like float fishing for steelhead, stuff like that. So here's fluorocarbon, a picture of fluorocarbon, and they look the same pretty much. There's not much of a difference, as you can see. Braid, on the other hand, is a much difference. It's more a threaded line. Here, I'll put some up on the screen right now. So there's a braid. Braid, yeah, it's more of a like threaded line, and like a 12-pound braid would be equivalent, I think, to like 50-pound mono or fluorocarbon. I don't know the exact measurements, but braid is a much stronger line. If you were fishing through weeds, I would recommend it because it slices through the weeds very well. It's a really good type of line. I prefer braid if it's anything over 12 pounds. Anything over 12 pounds, I use braid because you can get more on the reel, and braid has no memory at all. Fluorocarbon and mono have memory. You know, I find that trident, I think it is tridene, has the least amount of memory, and memory means when you pull it off the spool, how much does it fit that spool? You don't want it to have You don't want it to have any memory at all. You want it to have no memory. And I believe fluorocarbon has less memory than mono. I don't know for sure on that one. I mean, you're going to have to look that up. But either way, fluorocarbon and mono are pretty much the same unless you're a serious fisher and you're like fishing for side drifting, for steelhead, stuff like that. Anything like that. Trolling, a lot of people use... sorry, I just got the chills. Fluorocarbon, a lot of people use for trolling. It's very common for trolling, but I pretty much use braid for anything 12 above 12. So 15, 20. I have a 50-pound braid on my convector 20V like D. Yeah, 20V D, and I really recommend it. It's very, very skinny. Like if you were to have 100-pound mono, I'd bet it'd be as thick as this, probably. It'd probably be close to as thick as a apple wire. I would recommend, my opinion, if you're just fishing for just standard starting fishing, you're fishing for like perch and stuff like that. Oh yeah, also mono seems a little less invisible because those air bubbles reflect light underwater, so it's a little bit less visible. But I mean, if you're just starting off fishing, I would recommend mono. Sorry, that's my, like, cousin, I guess you could say, in the background, if you can hear him playing. He's guarding my room with his Legos, his Lego dragon. But, yeah, mono I'd recommend. If you're just starting out, definitely mono. It's really just the best kind of line. If you're starting out fishing, maybe you'd probably be fishing for, like, trout or bass if you were starting out fishing. Maybe even perch or catfish. My favorite type of fishing is catfish, to be honest, and it's probably catfish. I just really like catfishing. It's a lot of fun, even though most of my videos are largemouth bass, because largemouth bass, I don't know, I think I like smallmouth bass too, because pound for pound they fight a lot better. But yeah, I would recommend mono starting out fishing, unless you're starting out with steelhead, which I definitely wouldn't recommend. Depends what kind of steelhead you're fishing for, but in general, mono is the go-to line. Anything smaller, anything 12 pounds or smaller, I go to mono. So I don't I've used fluorocarbon one time on one of my rods. I've used fluorocarbon so many times on other people's rods, but one on mine. So I'm not a big fan of it. It's a nice type of line, but mono's the line to stick with. 12 or under is, in my opinion. Braid is the line to stick with, anything above 12 pounds. So thank you guys for watching. Please rate. I don't even know what rate means, to be honest, but subscribe and like.